It looks as though the obsession with Jeffrey Epstein took a big hit today as a Florida federal judge declined to release additional grand jury documents from the criminal investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. This becomes the first roadblock in the Justice Department's efforts to dissipate the public backlash over their handling of the case and the criticism of Pam Bondi coming specifically from the political left and the extreme right. Judge Robin Rosenberg said in her ruling that because the Justice Department had requested the sealed evidence be released due to extensive public interest and not as part of a judicial proceeding, the standard usually applied by judges in such cases, that her hands are tied. She cannot release it. In other words, it's nobody's business. It is highly unusual to release grand jury testimony to the public, folks. This is what I've been saying. But it's worth noting that the grand jury testimony that the Justice Department is trying to get released here is just a small portion of the thousands of documents related to the Epstein investigation and the criminal case. Many of those documents are already in the Justice Department's custody and may not have been presented to the grand jury. We just don't know. Now, because the grand jury docket is still under seal, Rosenberg ordered that a new case should be opened as a matter of public interest with both the Justice Department's request and her denial order. Separately, a different federal judge rejected Epstein's former accomplice's request, that's Ghislaine Maxwell, to view grand jury material as he weighs whether to release it publicly. It's a black letter law that defendants generally are not entitled to access the grand jury materials, said Judge Paul Engelmeyer in an order rejecting the request today. Lawyers for Ghislaine Maxwell asked the judge yesterday to allow them to access the grand jury transcripts that the Justice Department asked to be unsealed before they officially state their position on the unsealing. Now, in response, the Justice Department has until next week to provide more legal arguments for why the transcripts should be released. Victims and Maxwell have until August 5th to file their positions on the unsealing. This constant obsession with Epstein is quite the distraction, folks. Quite the distraction from more pressing issues. Not that it's unimportant, but this obsession with this, these people were not obsessed with this for 4 years after Epstein departed this earth in 2019. And then Biden became president from 21 to 25, there was no obsession with releasing Epstein documents. Now, why is that? Only when Trump becomes the guy. And it's not just the left. It isn't really coming from left. It's coming from his so-called MAGA support base that's not complaining about the cover-up in Butler, Pennsylvania when a president nearly died, not talking about Obama and the intelligence community documents that reveal one of the greatest scandals in the history of American abuse of the intelligence community, doctoring intelligence to attack a presidential candidate and then attack a sitting president. Yeah, these scandals seem to have no interest for the Epstein crowd. They just want to know about Jeffrey Epstein. Well, their desire took a big hit today as federal judges say, no, you have no compelling interest to get these documents. What say you, folks? I know a lot of people are obsessed with this case, and maybe you're right to be obsessed with it. I'm not. I'm obsessed with justice. Epstein's gone. The best justice any victims have is to get money from his estate. Cheers.